Right here.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to
What up, good people? What up? What up? What up? We are here, as he would say, is Wednesday, July the 8th. And this is Random Thoughts with DVP and Friends. And today we got a special guest. So I guess today he built one of the country's, I guess today built one of the country's leading employee benefit firms from scratch. Landed on the cover of Benefits Pro magazine. Closed healthcare deals in Beijing as an international consultant and co-authored a bestseller with Jack Canfield. Then traded it all in for a luxurious beach town in Mexico, where he now helps Americans relocate, invest, and completely redesign their lives. Please welcome the CEO of Gap International and founder of Making Moves in Mexico and a good friend of mine, Felipe Bargangue. What's up, homie?
What's going on, bro? Thank you, man. Thank you, man. A lot was left off the bio, man, intentionally, just because I do too much. As the young folks say. Glad to be here, man. Looking forward to sharing whatever I can with everybody, man. It's an amazing thing, and I have definitely lived an amazing life, man. So, yeah, man.
Hey, man.
Let's get to it.
I know. I know it's a lot of amazing things, a lot of the things that we have discussed over the years, that you got your hands in. I mean, deeply immersed in, so you make doing things to make people better. Hold on
Yeah.
one second. What up, Mo? You got to excuse Mo. He a little older, so he come in a little slow. What up, Mo?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Ain't that much, Mo. Mo Felipe Mo.
How you doing, good brother?
Nice to meet you, brother.
Mo is one of our co-hosts. He's a great guy. He wrote a couple of books as well.
Okay.
And he's for us, he's our financial guru. He's the one we talks about stocks and money with. So that's what's up. We got him. Sherry, what's up? Unmute yourself, Sherry.
I'm unmuted. I just can't find how my camera is not working.
It's right next to your mute button.
Don't get cute.
Don't I ain't gotta get cute. I stay cute.
Mark, you're supposed to be good when we got guests, special guests, man. You're supposed to be good on your best.
That's
behavior,
right.
man.
I know. He's special guest to y'all. He family to me. He family to me.
I'll be like,
if
that ever happened.
But here's the thing, we're gonna get right into it. So Felipe, if you want to tell us your early beginnings, high school, how you got into the field, how your life went into the direction that it went into.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I always tell people anytime, because I also do a lot of keynote speaking. Anytime anybody asks me that question, I always tell them that they'll hear a heavy dose of God. Because every company, every business, every venture I've ever started or been involved in, God was always involved in. Like, I mean, I can't say it was me, because this was not on my bingo card was anything that I've done, but I've lived an amazing life, and I thank God for it. So, so I started, I'm a native of Atlanta, which is how I know you, went to Doug High, grew up all over Atlanta, College Park, Swatch, family in Decatur, the deck, whatever you want to call it. I guess they still call it the deck now. And really, I've always, my mother always told me one thing. She was like, anytime, and that's the reason why I'm mentioning this. She was like, always read. Always read. So when I got out of college, I started working for a company in Marietta off of Windy Hill called Financial Services Corporation. They were a broker-dealer firm in Marietta. I was working in the back office. I was 23 years old. Didn't know nothing about financial planning or any of this stuff. I just needed some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, to be totally transparent, they had a requirement for you to be able to type, a certain amount of words per minute. My typing was trash, but I somehow passed the test. Again, God, and from there, I got the job, ended up, and one of the things that I realized in the employee manual, it said that anybody that works at any position in the company after a year working with the company, they'll pay for your security exam in Series 7, 65, like 66, all of it. So when they said that, when I saw it in the book, I was like, hey, it don't matter to me, it ain't my money, but I'm taking advantage of it. Mama always said, similar to, Forrest Gump, to read. So ended up passing that. I was 24 when I passed it. Ended up passing that. Went through some stuff with the firm because Black people normally didn't take the exam. This was back in 2000, 2001. Black people at the firm were like, "You crazy? What happens if you fail?" I'm like, if I fail, they can't fire me for failing. It's a voluntary deal, not but I knew I had enough faith in myself that I knew that I would do well. So ended up passing. The firm did get upset because other Blacks started taking it as well. But from there, I told them I wanted a job in compliance. They didn't give me the job, so I left, and I've been self-employed ever since. And that whole story will take the whole 2 hours up. So I'll stop right there in regards to that.
We definitely understand that. But like I say, I know, like I say, 2 certified, went to the same high school, and it just shows that he's grown. So after you got to being on your own, what was your first company that you started?
Gap International, which is named after my daughter.
Okay.
That company, we do financial planning in that company, employee benefits, a lot of financial consulting. And that company is also how I got over to China. That one in my tech company, Booty Technologies. That company showed me something else. It showed me residual income. It showed me um, that most people when they work for an employer, they're offered employee benefits. But what they don't realize is that there's somebody like me on the back end of that, making a ton of money, and most of them are white boys. Like, to be honest with you, like, when I was recognized in 2017, I was the first black person that they had ever recognized as being in the top anything in the industry. Um,
Okay.
and and but by seeing that, by being exposed at an early age, and when I was at an early age, I was 20, I was like 26, 27 when I got exposed to that, and I saw how these white boys were making all this money, and it's awful stuff that you don't even see. You sign up for disability insurance, life insurance. Even if you see an agent, that agent is not the broker. We're in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? We're off somewhere.
Hmm.
And but every policy that anybody signs up for at a job, um, there's a broker attached to it, and that broker's getting paid each and every month. Like, it never stops. It doesn't stop until that employee leaves the job, dies, or terminates the coverage. So when I found out about that, man, like, it was over with there, because I was like, wait a minute, because my first the first account that we enrolled was City of Decatur Schools. I made $2,000 in 2 days. My first time I made it kind of money that fast. I thought I looked around like, hey man, am I selling dope or something going on? Like, all this, you know, I had never seen money that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was easy. Like, it was literally in 2 hours each day. So 1,000, so that was making $500 an hour. 27 years old, 2003. Then from there, man, I ended up the estate prison system became a client, juvenile justice defects, child support. I've done business with City of Columbus, City of Atlanta, MARTA, a lot of. I got my hands in a lot of stuff. Um, so, so going to your earlier point about me helping people, what I set myself up to do was to now introduce more black people to this, because we, even though we don't own a lot of the big companies, we run a lot of them. And what I mean from an HR standpoint, from an HR benefit standpoint, a lot of times your HR manager is going to be black women, gay men, or white women. Typically, those are not as big of a barrier to entry for us as if it was a white male. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I've taken it upon myself, and I've hired a lot of my classmates. A lot of my classmates have worked with me over the years. A lot of friends, a lot of family, and the biggest thing for me was that knowing that for whatever reason God put me in these positions, in these rooms, to where I'm being introduced to stuff like even the financial planning. Like, I had never heard of that. Most black people, when they talk about financial planning, typically it's Primerica and stuff like that. Not shitting on Primerica, but Primerica, sales term, talk about investment difference, but there are so many other different products out there. There's options. There's so much to do in this space that I just became a student of the business.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a
I,
good thing.
yeah. I was about to respond to your Brown and Brown. Yeah, I got good friends at Brown and Brown, um, and a couple Willis Towers Watson, Epic, and a lot of other places. So yeah, she's absolutely correct. And the problem is, again, going to that comment, is that those are white firms. So more of us need to be exposed to this industry, to be totally transparent with
So I got a question. So is it it's not really policy management you're doing. You just I'm just a question. It didn't sound like it's policy management. It sounds like it's the infrastructure that you manage. Is that right or no?
So, well, with the way I'm set up, it's a little bit different. So we basically help the employer choose benefits, choose, what's best for their employees. I created a proprietary solution called demographic-based benefits planning. And basically, what that does is that it looks at the demographics of the group and creates a benefits plan for the employer. And a lot of that came from when I was doing financial planning. A lot of that, I still do financial planning, but now it's just about 50-50 now. But the employee benefits way more money coming from that. But so whenever we go into a group, I also do healthcare consulting. I look at the group's benefits, look at the employee base, look at the claims data, and I minimize a lot of it. And then I figure out what is the best plan and plans for that employer as it relates to the demographics, costs, income, things of that nature.
So
most people don't know that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Finish your thought.
I was just going to say, and the reason why so like in the prison system, the reason why I created demographic benefits planning was because yes, we do need more black brokers for sure. And that's an understatement. What I realized when I worked when the prison system was one of my clients was that I kept running into these situations where the white people would come to me and say, you got to remember that most of the prisons, especially in Georgia, are in rural areas. And I don't know if y'all, how much time y'all spend in rural Georgia. It ain't Atlanta. It's totally different. So I would run into these prisons, and a lot of the employees' names would be the last name of the prison, which would be the last name of the county. Which I think you understand what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
And they would be black. That was because a lot of the counties in Georgia are named after former wealthy slave owners. So the white boys would come up to me and go, "Hey, Felipe, I don't discriminate. I got clients that are good old boy rednecks that you would think would hang you in 2 seconds, but some of my best friends. And I got other clients, and I'm like, nah, I've been to certain prisons, Georgia. Like they used to tell me, man, we hate that they changed the laws, but back in the day, we better whoop up on them, based on the black immigrants. So when I started going to these groups, a lot of the white clients would be like, "Man, give me everything you got." I'm like, okay, y'all ain't making much $27,000 a year. Like, how you. He was like, well, my mom. Now, listen what I'm about to say. My mom left me the farm. I ain't got no bills. You know what the farm used to be. My mom left me the farm. I have no bills, so my paycheck is my paycheck. So they can afford to get all the life insurance they needed, all the disability insurance they needed, everything else they needed. Guess who couldn't? Guess who was penny pinching? Us. And it's not our fault. It's because we don't inherit nothing. We don't leave our leave our dependents or those that we leave behind anything other than debt. And even when I was going to prisons, which goes back to why I created this platform, a lot of times I would hear black people, black men, black women, say things like, "I don't want to make anybody rich. I don't want to," talking about their spouses, talking about their kids. So they're like, all I need is $5,000. I need $10,000 worth of life insurance. I'm like, you need what? I said, the quickest road to wealth in this country that where they can't discriminate is life insurance, to be honest with you. If you don't want to go out here and work and get sweat equity and do it, get a big ass policy, part of my French. And I learned this from one of my first white mentors when I was working at the firm in Marietta. He told me that he had millionaire Waffle House, UPS, and Walmart employees. I'm like, you got what? because I'm 23 years old, I'm not understanding what he's saying until I understood what he was saying. All these people had life insurance on their parents. The kid had life insurance on their parents. Parent died, they done died, possibly $250,000, $1 million, whatever money is. They're still working at Walmart. But they were left $100,000, $250,000, $1 million. So now all of a sudden the trajectory of that child's family or that person's family has changed forever. So even in my firm, I haven't sold a term policy in eons besides the employee group, my rep sell those. We do a lot more advanced planning whenever I'm involved. Like we're talking about, creating banking systems, infinite banking systems, stuff like that for your family, things that create longevity. I'm about longevity and legacy. I'm not about, we're about what's happening 5 seconds from now. No, I want to know what, 100 years from now, I want your family to be good, because that's how wealth has been created in this country. Is through tools and vehicles like that. And it's not, we have to get out of this mindset of us demonizing things that are good for us, because they already do it. And a lot of that comes from them. When they used to come around with the debit agencies, the debit policies, they used to come around. A lot of our grandparents had policies that were worth $1,000, if that, 500, and the agent would come around and collect, the coins or whatever for the policy. So, I'm just an advocate of everything I'm doing. And now, Mark, you already know I'm on a whole other level now, because I'm here in Mexico, so everything I do now, like here, they call me the king of Quintana Roo, which is the state that Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel is in, because I'm moving down here the exact same way for our people.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment, man. Well, you said a lot of stuff. You said a lot of good stuff.
I
just want to make a comment on one thing you said, which is key, I think, in my opinion. That's demonizing the systems.
Yeah.
I think that's a design. They do that by design to keep you out, right? Make it exclusive, right? Yeah. Hey, but so this is what just in that same thought. This is what I say. I say, okay, you're gonna demonize the system. What are you doing? Show me your portfolio. Show me what you're doing. Okay, you telling me not to use it, but you using it. You doing it. You know what I mean? So how can you demonize the system that you're leveraging? That's what I look at white folks. I'm like, okay, what the white folks doing, right? Because so one thing I do, just real quick. One thing I do is I teach people how to invest. I teach black folks how to invest, and if you look at the numbers and breakdown of how many based on demographics who invest, white people at the top. You probably know that. And then below them is the Asian folk.
For sure.
And then below them is Black and Hispanic are probably close, right? They're pretty close to each other. And then you think about it and say, okay, wealth distribution.
Probably about
What'd you say?
No, What'd you say? I was just gonna say Hispanic. I was gonna say Hispanic probably about to eclipse us, because because they're just a lot more united than them.
Yeah. No, it's true. Well, and then you can't really compare Hispanic culture and the black culture anyway. It's close, but it's not the same thing. Yeah. And so we still suffering from certain things that they're not suffering from. You know what I mean? It's close, but there's still some things. Yeah. But anyway, my point is that if it wasn't an effective tool, why in the hell would white folks be invested the most? And this is what I try to tell people. I'm like, listen, this got to be an effective tool, because white folks don't do things that are not beneficial, and I'll just leave it at that, man.
And what most people don't realize, going to your point, is that Warren Buffett owns more dividend-paying whole life policies than anybody else in the world.
Ooh.
If you look on the balance, and that's telling you a lot. If you look at the balance sheets, if you look at the balance sheets of all your banks, you're gonna find life insurance. The reason why the Catholic Church, you go to a Catholic church and you'll see if y'all hear a kid screaming in the background, it's my son. So just
he good. He got excited when you start talking about the life insurance. That's all. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, cool. He's like that, yeah. No, he better. But the reason why the Catholic Church, you can go to a Catholic church and there's one person there and they still got gold everywhere and everything else. It's not like, well, life insurance is one of them, but it's because of endowments. You know, you're seeing things like Coach Harbaugh up in Michigan took a lot of his bonuses and told them to put it inside of life insurance.
Ooh.
He wanted delayed payment because there's a system called infinite banking that the Rockefellers were the first ones to do this, which is the reason why the Rockefellers are still one of the wealthiest families in the world. But you couldn't name a Rockefeller to save your life, but they still, you know what I'm saying? You know, them, the Kennedys, the Fords, all of them, you know, and the reason why they hide it from us, something that I would probably say I know, is because once you get your neck and your foot off of a people, and they now have the financial capacity and ability to be able to move without having to depend on you financially, the game is over. Right now, they got us indoctrinated into going to college, getting a job, working for them, not supporting each other in business, pushing all our boys to athletics, you know, and things of that nature. And that's the problem, you know, is that they continue to, and at this point, we can't even blame it no more. It's us. Like, we can blame white people all we want, but it's us now. Like, I mean, with social media, YouTube, university, and everything else, people like me out here, Mark, no, you know, people like you out here, it's us. You know, so now, does our racism still exist? Yeah. But right now with AI, one of my companies is an AI company. Right now with AI, what most people don't realize, which is I've created several companies where I have no employees. It's all AI driven.
Wow.
Because AI is left in the playing field. When you go into AI with your thoughts and say this, and I know we get it done all over the place. I told Mark, I'm like, you know, I got 1,000 business, man, so we're gonna be everywhere. But the thing about AI is that AI, until the regulators on it, which is gonna happen, which is the reason why we gotta make sure that we jump into it and learn as much as we can. Right now, you can go into AI, and AI can create an entire business for you, websites, e-commerce, get vendors, get relationships, all this stuff. You ain't doing nothing. All you need is the idea.
Yep.
So tell me one time in history where we ever had the ability to not have to spend money on tech. You got to spend money on AI, but I mean, that's you know, $20, $100, whatever. But you now don't have to pay somebody to code because they code for you, they create apps for you, create websites for you. Mark, after this, I'm gonna send you a couple of the websites that I created. And one of them people can go to now. It's a company I created called Vitalux, VITALUXMX.com. And it's a wellness company where we are helping people reset their basically reset their lives, but it's focused on resetting your gut biome and just making sure that you're healthy overall. But that company is 100% AI. Well, 95% AI because of the shipments. But there are so many things that you can do now to position yourself to not have to worry about working for anybody else. But the problem is that our community, we listen to them demon out there say, oh, AI is the Terminator. It might be. It might be. But we already been there. So that's one of them. I got another one I want to take y'all to. It's called Concierge, Soul Concierge. Yeah, you can go to that one. Yeah, that one, 100% AI. AI created the website, created when people log in, it created all of that. When it's responding, it's responding to them, and then I get all the inquiries and the doctors I have attached to it.
So, so Felipe, I got a few things that I do, and I know that would be useful for me. So maybe this is a little off the topic, but I just want to ask you a quick question. How do you go about programming it to get that? I don't know. I don't know what that thing is called. I guess agent. I think it's called agent, right?
Yeah, agent. Yeah.
Do you make the agent, or you got somebody that make the agents for you?
So depending on the company, one of the companies I hired somebody, but somebody already knew. But now you don't even need that anymore. Now the biggest thing with AI is to talk to it. All this prompting and stuff. What we have to realize is that AI, look at AI as being one of the most intelligent people you know. Because AI is far more, it knows way more than we do. It doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
So, and what people are going wrong is that they're prompting AI instead of talking to AI. I talk to it. I tell it what's in here. I tell it what I want to do. And then with Claude and not ChatGPT because ChatGPT it ghosts a lot. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold right now, so I need to get some water.
They don't want you to tell us the secrets, man. We need the information.
Hey, man. And one thing I'm gonna say real quick. I know a lot. There's a reason why I'm in Mexico. The law firm that represents my tech company is a Jewish-owned law firm backed by the Israeli government out of West Palm, Florida. And I'm gonna just say that, leave it right there, because we know where we are with Israel and Jews. So I've seen a lot. When working in China, I saw a lot. So we got to get our shit together. Hope I can curse on this podcast. I know it's more discussing all the time. So, but yeah. So with the AI, I use Claude. I don't use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT for like minor stuff because the one thing that people also have to be careful of with AI, especially dealing with like ChatGPT, is that it'll lie to you. AI isn't good with mathematics. A lot of people don't realize that. Like when you're doing volumes and stuff like that, it's not good with. But if you're using Claude, Kimi, Perplexity, all of those, especially Claude. Claude is what I created that website on. I've created probably 6 or 7 strong companies and websites with Claude. And Claude does everything. Claude, when I go to the site, Claude talk to the people. All I had to do was give Claude my spreadsheets, tell it exactly what I want to do. Also, you can also tell Claude to create the agents. So Claude created all the agents for me. I told it I needed a fully functioning company that I wanted to go to $1 million a year. Needed, blah, 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 blah. Give me all the roles, all the agents, and it did it. So every day, and then every Friday, it sends me a report of what each agent did.
Wow, that's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing and scary at the same time because I guess they call it a theory, but replacement theory is coming. Based on that same idea. You know what I mean? They are. If you could create a whole company using the tool, all the people getting put out of work.
So to your point, I agree with that, but then on the flip side of that, so in 2018 when I was in China, the Chinese government approached me about this thing called smart education. What we have to realize is that the world goes through we have industrial age, like it goes through different ages. When's the last time you picked up the phone and there was an operator? You know what I'm saying? Like when's the last time you went, there's a lot, just like Walmart, well, just big box stores displace local family stores.
I get where you're going.
Yeah, it's
happening anyway. It's gonna happen anyway.
It's gonna happen anyway. But this time is one of the first times where everybody can get on that damn computer or phone, but you got to be able to think. You got to be able to think. We are entering into an era of thinkers. You got to be able to think and create. So where I was going with this regarding China, they had this thing called the Smart Education Solution that they introduced to me in 2018. They were already teaching their kids that reading, writing, arithmetic, all this other stuff. Oh yeah, Claude is used by lawyers, doctors, everybody. Where they were teaching their kids how to think because they saw this coming. they saw, remember this is 2018, before COVID, before we knew about AI. We've been using AI for 20 plus years. A Roomba robot is AI. If your car has any type of sensor on it, where to slow down, start, go, that's AI. We just have been introduced to AI on the consumer level as far as us being able to utilize it.
Yeah,
But
and I don't mean, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to say this though. You're speaking from the commercial perspective. You know this been around a long time with the military. Long time, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Missiles, guided missiles, that's AI, man.
AI,
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. So that's, our people, our community really need to get on board. Again, but remember what we said earlier. What they demonize, because we're gonna end up being on the bottom again if we don't embrace the future, which this is the future.
Facts.
The one thing AI will never be able to do is to be as creative as a human being. It's never going to be able to do that because it's not a human. It can try to make it can, but it can't. It can't be as creative as we are. So with you being able to have agents and stuff like that with it, now you can monetize it. There are people that are creating whole companies that are raising millions of dollars from VCs. They have no employees besides themselves. So we just got to get out of this headspace where, again, we just they gonna, my job. Oh, okay, but what you gonna do about it? There's nothing there's nothing you can do about it. Like it's coming. No, it's here. And what most people don't realize is that AI right now, they are slowing down AI because there's not enough energy on the planet.
Yeah.
If they let AI go at Mach 7, which is capable of doing, it's over with. You want to talk about jumping 100,000 years into the future in 10 years, AI can do it. But right now they have regulators on it because there's just not enough energy on the planet.
So you made me think of something. I got a saying, man. I just came up with a saying, man. AI needs to be the new side hustle in the hood.
Absolutely.
That's what we need to do. You want a side hustle? Learn AI. You can get out there and hustle.
That is true, man. That's true. That's a lot of stuff you just dropped on us, man. That we glad that you sharing with us about, especially the investments in life insurance. I don't know, Sherry. I know she's on the show. I don't know if she can hear you, but she had a topic last week, like why we don't invest in life insurance. As a people, it's one of those, why we'd rather do a GoFundMe and have a fish fry than invest in our family before it's there. Sherry, can you hear us?
I can. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but Roy couldn't find the camera, so but I can hear you all. Yeah, my question last week was that, or my statement was that, I don't give to GoFundMe when it's a funeral for somebody, because I feel like, we can go out and buy cigarettes, go to the club, all these other things that we don't actually have to do. We can invest in some life insurance, even if it's just a burial thing, so that when you pass or your child passes, you can at least bury them. You ain't got to be doing no GoFundMes.
Yeah, and then I probably said this last week too, Sherry, when we talked about that, because I personally, and maybe everybody need to think like this, I don't know, but I personally feel responsible for me until the dirt is thrown on me.
Yeah.
So that means I need to make sure I can cover expenses, afterlife expenses. Why would I want to put that on anybody? You know what I mean? That's my responsibility. That's how I feel about it anyway.
So we're talking about investing, Felipe. What we're talking about investing. As far as insurance, what do you think? Is it term? Do you get whole life, or is it different company, or it specific benefits that you want to look for when investing in life insurance?
So think you probably heard me say earlier, I have not sold a term policy in 20 plus years.
Wow.
Okay.
Reason being is that 99% of term policies don't get used, and insurance companies know that. But what's the first thing we do? We go, oh, well, term insurance is $10. Well, it's $10 for a reason. It's $10 because they know that if you pay $10,000, just common sense. If you're paying $10 for a $100,000 policy, do you really think that that life insurance company designed a policy that they're going to the odds that they're going to pay $100,000? You've been paying $10 a month for, or whatever the price is. You really think that they designed that policy for people to use it? That's the reason why term only lasts 10, 20, or 30 years. And after 50, typically you can't. You might be able to get a 30-year, but typically it's only 10, 20 years. The reason behind that is because term policies are designed for a term. They're designed for you for something happening to you during a time when you ain't supposed to die. You know, in your 30s, 40s, 50s. But they're not designed for you to have when you're 80 years old. But typically we'll get those policies because they're cheap. You know, and I am an advocate of you if you can't afford to get a large whole life or IUL or something like that policy, excuse me, to have at least a smaller one and then have a term if you have young kids or a family or a house. Because if something happens to you while that child is younger, you want to make sure that whoever has to care for those kids has sufficient coverage. And that's what that life insurance is going to do. But what I always tell people, like when I was doing the prison system, I do a lot of presentations in there. And I used to tell the employees, I'm a realist. So I'm gonna say something to you that it's gonna make you uncomfortable, but it's the truth. When you die, my mother passed in 2018. I think Mark, you probably know that.
Yeah.
My mother passed in 2018. When you die, there's no more Christmases, no more birthdays, no more none of that. Do you want your last gift to be, oh damn, when mama died, man, this daggone house, man, we had to pay $100,000 to keep the house, and blah 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 blah. We had to pay to bury her. We had to. Or do you want them to be like, man, the reason why we got this house, why I went to college, is because my grandmother left me $100,000. Which one of those do you want to be your legacy? That's what I used to always, because I was tired of hearing our people say, I don't want to make anybody rich. I don't want to, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It ain't your money. You didn't save $100,000. You didn't save $1 million. Yeah, you sacrificed 100, but somebody got to sacrifice. Somebody got to be the first one. And we show people how that first one can hold on and fund everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what the Rockefellers did. But somebody got to be the first one.
So Felipe, I just want to tell you, man, because I teach stock market basics, and that principle you just said, it's the same principle with the stocks. You know, somebody got to start the ball rolling. Somebody got to start the portfolio, and then once that happens, then you can go from there. But if everybody like trying to go for self, it's never going to build, you know, unless you get lucky, of course.
That's a problem right there.
So are you still in the business of selling whole life insurance, or do you have a company that does that?
Yeah. So, but I try to preface everything I say. So, every business I have, whether it's financial service businesses, the wellness business, we never are doing product. We're all about strategy. So, and the reason why I mention that is because when people hear you say whole life, and hear you say term, and hear you say IUL, they start thinking about the product. No. We doing strategies. We're implementing strategies that can help your family create its own banking system. We're implementing strategies that can help fund your family's life insurance forever. And everybody, and every time somebody does it, the pot for your family gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to where now they don't have to worry about working. Or they're working because they want to, not because they got to, which is where 99.9% of the people in our community are working because we got to. You know, so yeah, so it would be because all whole life products aren't created equal. That's the other thing too. Excuse me.
Okay, that's a good thing. Good thing. Because I know, like I say, so Sherry ain't got to tell them, don't send me this damn Cash App request or no GoFundMe. It just asking, since you are in that. So,
No,
I know what other investment adventures you have. I know real estate.
yeah. Real estate. I'm also part owner in a crypto company. The company we're tokenizing real estate to where instead of you having to and basically it's for the international market. It's out of Monterrey, Mexico. What we're doing is so right now, let's say you said Felipe, which you have before. I want to buy a house in Playa Carmen, which is where I live, or Tulum, or Cozumel, or Dubai. Typically, you have to become a resident or something. Not well, Mexico, you don't. But there's hurdles or barriers to you being able to purchase a home. What we're creating is a token that can be used around the world wherever the property is. Instead of you having to convert your money, the price is whatever. If the price is the price, so you ain't got to worry about it being, you coming to Mexico and buying it, and because of Trump's policies, when I moved to Mexico, it was 22 to 1, 22 pesos to $1, and that's 17.5 to 1. Now because the crypto around the world, you just pay that one price. Also, you don't have to jump through the hurdles either because of how we have everything set up. So that's one of them. Also do a lot of consulting. I have a business here called Making Moves in Mexico, which you mentioned, where I've got employees and AI and that basically help Americans relocate to Mexico, open bank account, get Mexico Social Security number, loans, work permits, residency, citizenship here in Mexico. As most people don't realize, it's another thing, another nugget that our community does not understand. And probably most people don't understand this. The reason why other countries outside of being given money, why people from other countries, including Africans, come to America and excel, it's because your credit profile does not follow you to a new country. You could have filed bankruptcy in Zimbabwe, Philippines, or Thailand. When you go to another country, this is in country. You become a part of their credit system. So here in Mexico, I've got Mexican American Express cards, Mexican MasterCard, Visa cards, checking accounts, loans, and companies that are set up here because I have a Mexican. It's not called a Social Security number; it's called an RFC. But that number is basically the same as a Social Security number. So now I've got a credit profile in the U.S. and one in Mexico. So what I do is I send money between the two countries. So now at the bank here, I look like I'm at the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? Because they send all this money, like, oh, shoot,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I think if more people knew that, because we always look at foreigners and go, how they did it because they moved to a new country. Whatever was going on in India, it ain't going on in the U.S. There's nothing following you. There's no ties to the credit. It's all separate. It's nothing connecting you to your credit in another country.
You get like a financial system reset. You start all over. Yeah, that's a good idea, man. Because once you get you know how the U.S. do. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, I already know. Yeah.
I ain't gotta talk about it. You know how we do over here, man.
Yeah, man. Some people all day how to do that, man, and also buying real estate here. Most people don't know that you can buy real estate. Like there's property here you get $7,000. And unlike in the U.S., a lot of times the developer will finance the property, so you don't have to have cash. Well, you don't have to get a mortgage per se. But there's just so many things that are so many things I've learned, man, just throughout my life. And it's been listening to Jews and white people, wealthy white people. It's like I'm Robin Hood, man. I go out there get the info because they learn from me as much as I learn from them. And I bring it right back. You know what they said? You know what they doing over there? You know, and luckily I have people listen to me because they know, I ain't never, I'm, always been straight up, which is why I know Mark here, Rockford. I got a lot of people that I went to school with, good school, that are clients that invest with me and do a lot of stuff with me. So I'm definitely grateful for all of
that. So let me ask you this: do you have a resource who can build an AI agent? Let's say I want to start something. You got a resource that, or somebody. Do you do that, or do you have a resource that can do that? And can you share some information on that?
I can help you with that. So I also do a lot of business consulting. Where I help people. I've actually, I don't know if Mark participated in this, but I did about 2 years ago, I did a master class on creating passive income. And part of it was talking about AI and how you can, and of course AI there were no agents then. Now there's agents, it does everything now. That was a year and a half ago. So I can definitely, I can work with you on that because when you see how simple this is, man, you will be like, oh my God. And then you just start thinking. And literally it can have your business up and running in an hour. Like, only thing you gotta get is the LLC, the EI, that stuff, but it can have your business up just like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I use the tools and they're amazing. So I can only imagine how easy it would be to get something going,
Yeah, man. I'm already thinking about something just based off of what you shared with me, but I'll share with you later though. Thinking about with your background, because most people don't know that you can AI. The thing about AI is that AI does not sleep. AI it doesn't sleep. It doesn't take breaks. 24/7, and it can go find stuff like that. Like it's just where it's gonna take us days and months to find information. It can find it in five minutes, if not faster. And that includes what stocks, research stocks, mutual funds, properties, invest. I mean, AI is a whole nother beast.
Yeah,
that it is. Tell us about making moves in Mexico.
So making moves in Mexico. So basically what that is, like I said, they call me the king of Alcatara. I've had Jeezy here. I had Jeezy here back in January. I don't know if y'all know who Winston Dukes is. Winston Dukes, he's the chief that came down from the mountains in Black Panther, the big black guy.
Okay.
And I mentioned this for a reason. I had the Braxtons here last year. I was on the season premiere of the Braxtons last year because I helped them move around Saloon, helped them with a lot of stuff, a lot of NFL players. And I mentioned this for a reason. Every time somebody comes down here, and I help them buy a property, I help them get residence, I help them open a bank account, or like a lot of my clients, I have to do the whole thing because I consult with them with, just like CPA. How much is it? Whatever the price is, I'm gonna pay it. And then I help them get residency, and the entire kit and caboodle and get settled here in Mexico. I was encouraged to create a company around it. So I created Make a Move Mexico. So Make a Move in Mexico is basically a brand that I created where I show people how to expand, operate, move at a high level here in Mexico because I got relationships here in the government. As you know, my son is here, so I've seen my son go from being a bit racist and not want to talk to Mexicans or anybody that speak English to now being 100% bilingual and in the top 3 students in his class.
Wow.
His school is an international private school. If I told you how much I paid for it, anybody that's paying for private school will probably throw their computers on the floor and break it because this boy this boy is learning. Like I said, so his classes are half day Spanish, half day English, all subjects, and he's learning French. So now he's 10 years old. He knows two fluently. Learning the third one. He also has a Russian friend. He's learning Russian, and I'm trying to get him to learn German also. So by the time that he's 18 years old, he knows 5 languages fluently. So the reason why I created that, because I used to give away the game for free and like little pieces, little nuggets. And everybody, and ain't gonna lie, Jesus was the one that Jesus did it for real. He came to Saloon in January. And he had needed some access to a bunch of things, VIP stuff and all that. And I sat with him down at the beach club in Tulum. He was like, man, hey man, y'all know how Jesus, boys real raspy. Hey man, I can't do a good presentation because it's cold. You're like, hey man, he's like one of them dudes, man, in Miami back in the 70s and 80s, man. Like you were moving everybody around. Like, how you do this, man? You've been there 4 years from Atlanta. You need to create a brand around this. You need to, because man, I would have paid anything for this, because I literally can move people around Mexico like they nothing. I mean, and it goes back to God. So with the Making Moves in Mexico brand, we're actually going to start having retreats here in Mexico. Retreats. I'm creating the mastermind group because a lot of what I've been able to do is because of masterminds. I'm not sure if anybody's in any masterminds even know what a mastermind is. I didn't know what a mastermind was, but it's what these white people that are up here is what they're doing. And I got invited to them because of the recognition, but I'll be on the black person in the room, and the connections you make in them, and just the ability to be able to network with people in these rooms.
Well, while you're right there, can you tell us what a master class is?
So a master class or mastermind, which one? About
mastermind. I think Mark wanted to know what the mastermind is.
Yeah. I know Mark probably got some whiskey over there. He's probably drunk right now, so But so basically a mastermind is an organization of like-minded people that come together, and typically it's going to be led by somebody. So like the ones that I'm starting going to be led by me. And I'll be bringing in my network. It allows people to come in a collaborative, safe space to learn not only from the facilitator, but learn from each other and also network. What's missing in our community is what? Networking and support. We don't have safe spaces. If Mark comes to me, and I'm using this as an example because I know Mark. If Mark goes sleeping, and you've done it before, I thought it was. I need help with XYZ. I got this company, I got this blah, 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 blah. Typically, we're going to be hesitant to even take that advice, or a lot of times get advice because we're not thinking in the infinite space, because we need to learn how to think, stop thinking in a finite sense, in an infinite sense. Because when you're thinking in an infinite sense, you realize that Amazon wasn't here before, Tesla wasn't here before, Facebook, Instagram, all of this stuff is brand new. New money gets created whenever you create. We can have 100,000 of the exact same company, and everybody can make money. So the purpose of a mastermind, and it's the same in the white community. They ain't no different. We just get all the little bad labels and we embrace them for some stupid reason. But the purpose of a mastermind is to bring together all these different like minds, people that have it can be somebody with a tech company, somebody with a car washer, somebody with all these different companies, and you come together and share what's going on in your business. Typically, there's breakout sessions where you're paired with somebody where you're helping each other on your business. Typically, there's a spotlight session where you're sitting down with people and basically being very transparent about, man, my business, man, I can't keep people, or or I'm struggling getting clients, and then trust somebody's been there. So in the mastermind, you're being taught, just like so the mastermind that I'm going to be having. I want to be showing people how to, because I'm an advocate of this. One of my first mentors told me that you don't have a business if you cannot operate it from the back of a yacht in the middle, from the back of a yacht from your telephone in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. When he said that, I was like, what? But then I understood. Most of us that say we have businesses, we don't. We have jobs that we created for ourselves. So yes, you are self-employed. You're not employed by somebody. The word to me, if somebody said they're self-employed, yes, they created a job for themselves that if they leave that self-employed job, the job closes down and everything else because they can't leave. What we have to start doing is becoming a master of working on the job, on the business, not in the business. So the purpose of the mastermind is to create the systems and things in place so that way you're not the one, if you leave that business, where the business falls apart. And that's typically what happens. The owner dies, the owner gets sick, the business goes, oh well, and then you don't impact everybody's life, your life, everybody, because the business it wasn't self-sufficient.
Yeah.
We got to learn how to replace ourselves. So the person of the mastermind is for people that are in business, or even high functioning executives, or people that want to start a business. Like, we're not going to discriminate, but we are going to be selective as far as it can't just be somebody, man, I want to. I want to learn how to take my dope game up to the next level. Nah, hey, bro, no, we can't do that. What you doing, man? But true story. I had a guy I went to high school with hit me up and was like, man, I know you know everybody, man. And he's a former dope boy. Like, man, I know you know some cartel, blah, 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 man. Man, why we ain't making millions? I said, bro, you on my phone saying this? Dog. Crazy.
And you wasn't like, who's this? Just
I'm like, people go to prison for this every day. You set up drug dealers, man. You crazy, man. You crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I understand. I understood mastermind because we had conversations about it. But to some of our listeners that may not know, this is a good thing. It's a good thing to have. And I know you're planning one next year, or your retreat next year.
Yeah, so the retreat, the first one will probably actually end this year. The mastermind is actually launching soon. Just because I've got some guys that I'm taking out of corporate America. I've helped a lot of people leave corporate jobs to start business outside of the corporation. Just because most people, when they start a business, you hear them say, oh yeah, man, I gotta make $1 million. I'm like, but you just left Wendy's making $40,000 a year? So how come when you work for yourself, you gotta make $1 million? When somebody else is paying you $40,000, okay, $30,000, $100,000, okay. I would much rather make the $40,000 for myself and be like, nah, it wants me to work for you. I need $1 million than to be the other way around, because I'm not gonna fire myself.
Hey, there's another thing too, Felipe. Oh, yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt. Another thing too. If you work for the company, you're gonna put in more work to make that 40,000 than if you work for yourself.
And to that point, the 40, and this is why, and you just said something very important. If people truly put the 40 hours a week into their company, 5 years, they're out of here. But most people can't wait that 5 years. That's really going to hold us 2 to 5 years, most business fail. It ain't 2 to 5 years, most business fails. 2 to 5 years, people give up. Because they made $100,000, they made $1 million. I'm like, as long as you're seeing growth, keep on going. Don't stop. And I always tell people, don't take advice from anybody that's been in business. They never had a year that did a bad year or a bad. Don't listen to nobody like that, because I'm like, they ain't been in business long enough. don't care who it is. You know, so, but I feel like once we realize that, and this is no shade to anybody with a job, like my whole family, it's nothing like that. Having a job is basically modern day paid slavery, in my opinion. This is me talking, because it tell you how much, you know, when come to work, when to leave, when you take a break, when you go on vacation, all the rest of the stuff. Jobs are amazing. We need employees. I got employees. My employees, hear me say this. My employees know that they come to me and at a certain time, come to me. I have a sorry business. Like I'm not trying to create a network of slaves or of people that are stuck in a position, you know, where they have to work. I'm not about that life. You know, but most companies aren't set up. Most companies are set up for you to. It used to be for you to die. Now they like, nah, we just waiting on, to this point, AI to get to the point to where we can replace you. So, do you want to be in charge of the displacement, or do you want to be a victim of the displacement? Because right now, most people are being set up to be a victim, and we don't realize that in 2020, that we literally dropped about 10, 15 years into the future. And what I mean from a technology standpoint, from how companies think standpoint, that whole thing about even this, like being on Zooms and stuff, we would have never been doing all that. The reason why I live in Mexico is because the clients that I do have that I work with, they all know I live in Mexico, but they're in Canada, they're in the US, they're in France, they're in Asia. They don't care where I am because of COVID. A lot of people still haven't caught up to the fact that we are a lot further than we would have been had 2020 never occurred.
That's interesting. Why do you think that?
No, go ahead. No, that's a fact. Hey, I'll tell you, Mark. Let me just say this, Felipe. Then you can take over, man. So Mark, at that time, I was still working. I was in corporate. I was at a corporate company, right? He already know where I'm going.
Yeah,
He already know where I'm going. Yep. So I'm at a corporate company, Mark, right? And one of the things they like to do, they like to watch, right? Yep. They coming by you in your office. They're checking up on you. You know, if you got a time card, if you want a time card, people, you punch a time card, this and that, right? Well, COVID blew that the hell out the damn water. Because guess what? I'm at home now, right? I'm at home working. All you got is a little damn green light that you can look on my computer, or you can ask me a question or whatever to check up on me. So that whole thing changed. Like you said, COVID changed a lot of systems, a bunch of systems, a ton, just so many. Because also one of the things that happened was, so a lot of people were saying, look, I need to work from home. And they would have a problem with people working from home. But guess what? When COVID came,
everybody can work from home.
Everybody got to work from home. You know, Felipe, no, man, it changed the whole game, man. Changed the whole game.
Bro, podcasts. Nobody really doing podcasts before 2020. 2020, because everybody was home bored as hell. I remember my podcast more. I got some COVID and stuff. I'm bringing it back, but so much change, bro. A lot of the lies that we were told, you got to be in the office. Okay, so then we can't go to work. So so now you're okay with me being online. Oh, okay. Then you're okay with me being on internet. Oh, okay. So now, so everything sped up, man. And now with AI, it just made it worse, bro. You know, but Mo hit it dead on the head. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And most people still haven't wrapped their mind around that. It also fucked up a generation of kids.
That it did, dude.
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of kids that are late teens, early 20s, especially the ones that graduate around the time, either before or after. Their social skills fucked up. They don't know how to date. They don't know how to talk to each other.
Yeah. That's true.
Think about it. Back in the day, for instance, my son was 18, graduated 2020. They had a graduation, but he didn't go to school. They had one, it was out in the field, you know. But this kid, he wasn't able to go out and meet girls. He wasn't able to go out with his friends, none of that. At 18, what the hell we doing? Man, I was at Freaknik, lying to girls about older than 18.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
These kids didn't get none of that. So they're saying that our kids socially and mentally are about 5 to 6 years behind where we are, or where we were at our age.
So, and let me add this too. So, because I thought it was me, man, but I had some a 25-year-old, something like, 20, somewhere between like 23, 25-year-old up here visiting.
Yeah.
And everybody left. It was just me and him. We just chilling in the living room. So I'm expecting we're gonna sit here and have some conversations. You know what I'm saying? Elder. Hey, listen, elder and and the young cat, right? So I'm like, okay, this is a good time. We're gonna have some conversation. Man, as soon as everybody left, this cat broke out some little computer thing, put his head down, and was gone.
Yeah, man.
He was gone, man. I'm sitting right next to him. I'm like, I was about to ask some questions, but I was looking at him like, yeah, he gone. I can't even. He's gone.
Yeah, it did destroy their social skills.
Yeah,
and the educational part is really worse.
Oh, for sure.
Because you talk about for 2 years they weren't learning.
Yeah.
Their virtual learning was some bull. Because a lot of kids they had proper guidance to go into the other room and get on the computer.
And you know that a lot of the schools were saying that, especially the year 2020, you can't fail the little kids. So and if you graduated in 2020, everybody graduated. Like, it wasn't I don't think anybody was told they were graduating in 2020. And a lot of them got scholarships just because everybody felt sorry for them. So a smart kid would have used it as a stepping stool. Like, hey man, I was messing up in school, but they still gave me a scholarship to go to UGL, whatever. A lot of them didn't do that, man. They, and the thing about it is that this ain't even me just saying this. If you talk to these kids know. They like, man, 2020 fucked me up, man. I don't know how to talk to girls. I don't know how to date. You know what I'm saying? Like, it fucked them up, bro.
I mean, that wasn't just for them. That's for everybody to sit at home listening to these relationship specialists on their podcast.
Yeah, that's
Derek Jackson had everybody tuning in.
If you weren't listening to Kevin Samuel, you were just listening to the idiots. But yeah. But that was the thing. Yeah.
Kevin Samuel, idiot.
I liked it when you went on here. But yeah, that's a big thing. It's a big thing, man. And we like I said, it's a lot of information that you're giving out, man. Dropping a lot of gems and jewels, and we definitely appreciate it. Because it's one of those things, like you say, what would be the process? I know you talked about investing in real estate in Mexico, and I know you said it with that cryptocurrency, it's easy to do it, but what would actually be the process if somebody wanted to do it? Because I know you talked about a project you had a couple of years ago. We talked about it. That's still going on?
Yeah. So actually, I'll get that first. So I'm actually creating an active senior living community here. There's no active senior living communities in Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, Cozumel. It don't exist. Like, there's one high rise, but it's not. It's like one of the ones where you go assisted living, but it's not active senior living. And Mexico, most people don't know this. It's the #1 destination for Americans to move, and the next one ain't even close. I think Panama's #2, but like there's over I think like 1.3 million Americans that live in Mexico. And every day I meet somebody, I'm moving. And a lot of ATLians down here, boy. When I tell you, oh my, it's like little Atlanta. I'm like, man, I'm about to move, man. I had to leave Atlanta to come back to get back up, be in the morning. God dang. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so and as far as buying property, so the cryptocurrency you can't use it yet, but we'll be able to use it soon. But you can buy property in Mexico. Like my brother bought one here. I own stuff here. I've got friends and people that I know that I've helped buy properties here. People, buy property here. You don't have to be a resident. All you really need is cash. The process is simple. We help you find a property. I have relationships with all the developers, and then of course we have our own development that we're creating. You find something that you like. Typically, so here, you know how like in the U.S. if you have like a new community, new construction or something like that, or pre-construction, you still have to get a loan. Here, if the property is pre-construction, the developer will finance the property, meaning that they'll finance the property. All you do is put down between 20 and 30% of whatever the cost of that property is. So for instance, the one I was talking about before, the $57,000. They ask you putting down what $15,000-$16,000.
Okay.
And that'll be ready in October of 2028. But you got that loan to pay the remainder of it. So we do this thing down here called flipping paper. There's a whole other game right here. I learned this from these Italian the Jews down here. So when it comes to buying a pre-construction property, typically the developer increases the price 4 or 5 times during construction. Why is that important? So the property I just told you about is in the friends and family round. The friends and family round is when the developer first announces it. They ain't broke ground. They ain't start building things yet. So it's the lowest price point that it's going to be at, $57,000. So once the developer breaks ground on it, they increase the price again about 10 or 15%. So now that property that you paid $57,000 for, somebody's paying $65,000 for. That's when they break ground. 3 more times during construction, they're going to increase the price again. So by the time they get to about that 6 months out, that property the property that you paid $57,000 for, and remember you only put down 15%. Yeah, I think you're gonna talk about this before, Mark. Mm-hmm. You put down 15%. Now that developer is now selling that property for $100,000. Remember, you have the right to buy the property for $57,000. All you put down was $16,000, $17,000. The developer is now selling it at $100,000. The exact same unit that you have the right to purchase once it's complete for an additional, $40,000. You can now sell. The reason I call it flipping paper is because you can now sell that piece of paper that says that you have a right. So basically, anybody understands wholesaling, it's kind of it's like wholesaling, but with like new properties. Now, and that's another. I don't want to say that, but now if you go sell your paper or your right to somebody else for $100,000, you get back your $17,000, and you just made another $43,000. And you ain't touched no keys, you ain't touched nothing. Only thing you did was flip the paper. They're doing, when I tell you that's one of the biggest things down here is because people are buying properties. And $57,000, a lot of people got that. That's pocket money to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like my 401k got it. People, they got that. But it's also done at $100,000, $200,000. And it's just, man, and that's another way that people can own property here or invest in Mexico, and I have people do that as well.
And I was gonna say that's so what Felipe just outlined is the same process used in investing in the stock market. It's the exact same thing. Right? Yeah. You get in early, you let it grow, and then you get out. And that's it. But I think that one is actually more safer than the stock market.
Oh, for sure, because it's real estate.
Yeah, and real estate is going to increase in value. Ain't no choice about it. You know what I mean? It's not going down.
Especially pre-construction real estate. Ain't no developer in the history of the world that completed a project started at one price, stayed at the same price the whole way. That never happens.
Facts. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's you invested in potential. That's awesome, man. I like that. That's crazy.
And the other part of that, let's just say, so typically we tell people to get 2 or 3 properties. Of course, you start when you start where you at. It doesn't matter. You get 2 or 3 in that same community, or it can be a different one, but we try to stay in the same community. You can now, so now instead of putting down 18,000 or 15,000, you put out 45,000. Okay, you got 3. So now you got 3 units that you have the right to sell. So, and this is gonna blow your mind what I'm about to tell you now. So now you have 3 properties that you bought at $57,000 that just appreciated to $100,000. So what's that number? So now those properties are now, you have the right to purchase them for $171,000, but you can now sell them for $300,000. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now you're making $129,000. But what we tell people to do is hold on to one of the properties. So now that $57,000 property that you have the right to buy now for $40,000 because you already paid the $17,000 or $15,000, whatever. You now take that $129,000. You take $40,000 from that, pay off that one property. Then you got a property that was free and clear. You still just made, what's that, $79,000?
Yeah.
And you got a property in Mexico or Panama, or wherever, but I'm speaking for here. That's free and clear, that you can come to, or Airbnb it out or whatever. But you don't have a mortgage on it or anything else. So also, what did you do, which most people do? Now you create a legacy for your family. Now your family has a vacation home. So now when you come to Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Cozumel, Cabo, wherever, you're not paying for a hotel or none of that stuff. You're staying in a place that's making you money, which is those 4 quadrants that Robert Kiyosaki talked about.
It's really good.
That's the side we got to go.
That's a good thing, and saying flipping papers, that's exactly what it is, and that's I can see where it's very beneficial.
Yeah, because and basically it's like flipping houses. Except in this case, you ain't getting a hard money loan. You ain't doing none of that. You literally are flipping paper. You ain't touching hammer, nail, no contract, nobody.
Wow, that's awesome. Good stuff.
Just investing and waiting.
That's it.
Potential, man. Investing in potential.
That's it. And at this time, you got you have some potential properties like that at this time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one I told you about is a very real example. 57 grand will get you a studio. And actually, 15,000 will get you a studio because really you be paying 15%. 15, 18,000, whatever the math is on 30% of the 57,000 will get you a studio.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question, Felipe. What's the maturation, or when I say completion time from investment to resale or whatever you want to call it?
So for this particular one, because it's literally they just announced it 2 weeks ago. This one they will start building the properties in September. They'll be finished in October 2028. So literally, you got 2 years, even if you want to keep it, for another to make it to get $40,000, which is when I tell you, there's so, like, for instance, the home I have here, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-4 bath, 2-story penthouse. It was selling for $225,000 pre-construction. It's 2.5 years old. It's now selling for $365,000. So that's $140,000 in equity in 2.5 years.
God, dog, that's almost double.
Yeah, and it's because I live in an area that people are moving to, and I live in because I understand the area. The area I live in is going to be a new downtown side of Corner. And this is like from my house, you can see Colorado, the ocean, all the rest of that stuff. But I'm saying this because we just got to realize that like all this stuff that we say, they ain't keeping Jack from us no more. Like it's us, man. Racism is this, yada yada yada. But until we reclaim our rightful place in the world, which we have not done yet, we need to do what we got to do within the parameters of what we're working in. And ain't no racism when it comes to buying property. Ain't no racism when it comes to buying stock. Ain't no racism when it comes to buying, like, can anybody say, oh, no, you can't buy the Microsoft stock. You can't buy it. No, it's a person trying to buy the Microsoft stock. No.
Hey,
am I right, Mo?
Yeah, no, you're 100%. Matter of fact, I'm about to tell you this. You're 100% right. And the thing is this. We trapped in our own minds at this point because my own brother, he's older than me. My own brother will not learn from me how to buy stocks. And he makes a whole bunch of excuses. And he says, I got to keep my money in the bank and the credit union. I'm like, man, you know how much the credit union is paying you? Yeah. So so I said, you gotta, I said, the credit union is taking your money behind the scenes and investing it, making more money, and they're going to give you a percentage of that money. I said, just invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And like 0.1%. Like, they ain't giving you no real percentage.
Right. Look, that matches the inflation rate, or it's below it. It's below it. Yeah. So I told him, I said, listen, learn how to invest in yourself. I said, you'll get equitable outcome, or even better, or even much better, and you don't have to pay them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, you're right, man. We're a victim of of the past. I can't even get them to do it, and then a lot of people won't even think about trying to learn how to do it, and that's, I don't know what to say. But that stuff you just said, man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So look, I'm going to blow your mind because you just brought up banking. So the reason why I have bank accounts in Mexico, and I keep most of my money here. Guess what the interest rate on a regular checking account is in Mexico?
Well, if I'm a guess, I'm gonna try to guess favorably. 5%.
My checking account pays 7.9%. A checking account.
Oh.
A checking account that I can go to right now. Most stocks over the 20-30 year time span are doing 8 to 10%. Like most portfolios, 8 to 10%.
Yeah, right.
I have a checking account paying 7.9.
You ain't got to invest.
No,
you just check the account.
Right. No risk.
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing.
So going back to that. Going back again. They can't stop me from opening bank account. They ain't, because they want the money. They we really got to get out of our own way, man. Like, we really got to do it because
that's amazing.
Yeah, man. There's so much that we're not doing.
So I'll say this, Felipe. I watch a lot of TVs. A lot of stuff on TV is just TV. But I think now I really understand why when I'm watching these drug shows, they're like, I need to get an offshore bank account. Now I kind of understand. I can understand why now.
For sure. So like, for instance, me being a legal resident of Mexico, because I have residency here, I have citizenship in 2 years. Because I'm not domiciled in the U.S. The first $140,000 that I make, even in the U.S., I don't have to pay federal or state taxes on it. So now, you do that, and the reason why a lot of tech billionaires, when people sell companies, and I got a couple of tech friends that have sold companies for billions, they end up moving to Puerto Rico right before they sell.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah, I know why.
Yeah, no tax.
Hey, only reason why I know why, Felipe, is because in corporate, they do the same damn thing. They got these, they set up the satellite companies. You know what it is. They set up satellite companies. Exactly. They got 10 companies, but the main company where they funnel all the money through is in a place that's favorable for them. Same thing. Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah, and all this knowledge is out there. It ain't none of this stuff here no more. I mean, you can't hide it. You gotta find it. But when you go on YouTube and find most of the stuff.
Right. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, man.
That is. I mean, that having a bank account with that kind of interest rate, that's more than amazing. Considering we have to look for bank accounts with high interest savings accounts, but we'll never find it with a checking account.
But it's just about 3-4%. They ain't talking. It's still like 7.9. In the savings account, I want to say it's like 8.9. The savings account higher. It's like 8.9. It's almost like 9.5.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
So like I've got clients that have like large companies in the U.S. They literally come down here. I got one client. This dude, I know he's supposed to be doing this. What he do? He come down here like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather had a big duffel bag of cash. So he'll come down. Like, I don't know how he gets money to TSA, but he'll come down here with a big duffel bag of pesos. Get up from the bank. When we go to the bank, we looking like the cartel rolled up in that bad boy because he no, I lied. At first he was coming down here with dollars. $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cash. Going to the exchange place, going to the bank. And we had the counter looking at us like, what the hell? How you dope boys? Excuse me. But he's doing it because when he calls entry, he's saying, man, I'd be stupid to keep my money in the U.S. See, it makes no sense. Why I keep my money in the U.S.? They don't. The banks, even if you got money in there, they're not going to give you favorable credit. They're not, they don't do none of that. Like they might give you a private, a private client, manager or stuff like that, and other things, but they're not giving you like favorable loans and stuff, because you keep all your money in there. They ain't doing all of that. So it's like, they take your money somewhere. So you put $1 million outside a Mexican bank, you can literally live off interest on the checking account. In the U.S., you got to get like an annuity or something like that, which we do those too. Roll over for people, show people how to how to roll their money over to annuities to create lifetime income. But the thing with these bank accounts is that this is liquid money. You know what I'm saying? It ain't tied up nowhere. It's liquid. Like it's, yeah, man. Hey, man. That's one reason why they call me the money man, because everybody knew when I came to Mexico, they was like, it's some money around or something. Like, yeah, you damn right, there's some money around here. Ain't going nowhere with no money. You will not see me in the desert by myself unless I know, oh no, this place right here, we're about to make this place pop. We're about to go ahead and put some, but outside of that, no, I ain't going nowhere where I can't make no money or help people make money, man. I'm good on that. Good on that.
Absolutely amazing.
That make all the sense in the world. Like I say, I know I talked to you a few times about different things, investment wise. So I definitely know, and it's just about getting into it. So if somebody wants, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and we did a couple of webinars, so I know that.
But if somebody, let's say they would say, hey, I want to invest in this property over there. How would they do it? Reach out to you? How would they, how would they get into it?
Yeah, reach out to me. I don't know how y'all do this. I get my phone number out. It's better to reach out to me on WhatsApp. It's 678-887-8511. or you can go to my website, makingmovesinmexico.com.
Okay.
And then you can see a list of our services on there as well. And right now, I think the site is down because we make some changes, but it'll be back up later today.
I just want to tell you, man, I really like your name, man. That's an awesome name, man. Making moves. Love that. Man, did you come up with that?
He always knew he was going to Mexico. He was born to go to Mexico.
I love that name, man. Making moves in Mexico, boy. What's happening?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what we're doing, man. Yeah, I came up with, man. I was actually sitting with a friend of mine, Lisa Moore, and we were at dinner one night because she was thinking about property in Tulum, and she was like, "Steve, like, man, you always like, man, you don't, Mark knows me, man. Like, I ain't like, even though I've done a lot of stuff, I got my network is crazy. Most people don't know I know people I know because until I say something about Jesus and everybody else, I don't post pictures with my friends. I don't none of that. Like I didn't know these people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to use them to come up, if that makes sense. Because a lot of them they look at me like I look at them in the sense of credibility and what I've done, and things like that. So, but we were at dinner and I'm like, yeah, I'm down here making moves in Mexico. She was like, please, she was like, did you hear what you just said? Yeah. I was like, oh shoot. Yeah, it is.
You stumbled on that, man. You slipped on that banana, man.
Yeah, man. And I probably have been saying it for about a year. Yeah, I'm making moves in Mexico, man. Making moves, different conversation.
That's awesome. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Man. Oh, also there is a Making Moves in Mexico Facebook group. I just remember that.
Say that again.
There's a Making Moves in Mexico Facebook group. But anybody can reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook. Also, I screwed up putting my name in here. My last name, there's no D, there's an E right there. So it should be Bargani, and I screwed that up. So, but yeah, anybody has any questions about moving outside of the U.S., like I said, our firm helps with all of that, from the residency to the requirements, the bank accounts, the job, creating businesses, and all everything. Feel free to reach out to me. And I really feel like God brought me here to help our people, because we all know that the climate and situation is going on in the U.S. For us to have a safe landing place in the event that something crazy does pop off, which we have no idea. But I'm here to help anybody that's looking for the help and the guidance. Part of the reason for the mastermind is so that we can become so that we can get exposed to international business. Only 5% of the world population lives in the U.S. You can become a millionaire and not have one client in the U.S. Stop caring about what the U.S. market thinks about anything or what they're restricted from doing. Get you a product, service, idea, something that all you need is 1,000 people pay you $1,000 a month. That's $1 million a month. You those same 1,000 people paying you $100 a month. That's what, $100,000. Wow. So we gotta, and they could be anywhere in the world. Do you care if all 1,000 of your clients are in, Australia or Philippines? You don't care. But we got to start thinking globally and thinking outside of the box, so that way, we don't look at America as the end or be all. Look at it as a blessing to be born in America because of what you see, the money you see. But I always tell everybody now, and a lot of my clients that are either relocated here full or part-time say, the new American dream is to make American dollars while living somewhere else. Because I don't have to worry about my son being killed by the police, shot by another black person, lynched by, I'm hearing about lynches there in the U.S. and all the rest of this stuff. Ain't worried about none of that. These people love them because they know who we are. We are the original inhabitants of Mexico. Original Mexicans look like us. You'll never see that, but they look like us. There's a huge Afro-Mexican population. that look just like Mark, that look just like Mo, look just like Sherry. Well, Sherry kind of like, I don't know, she might be, don't know this. But
don't do that. Don't do that, Felipe. Don't do that.
Red bone.
You a guest. You a guest. You about to get ate up in a minute.
Hey, I'm going to bring it on. But no, but all jokes aside, yeah, like there's a huge Afro-Mexican population here. Some of them are descendants of slaves that ran in Mexico, but a lot of them are just indigenous to Mexico. That's a whole other story for a whole other day right there. So, yeah.
Hey, so I think I probably was at it. I don't know. I see what you say, but I've been to Mexico. I've been to Mexico a couple times, but the one time I really remember, I went to these places right here. You tell me if I was in a good place or a bad place, man, because I didn't know. I went to Rocky Point. I stayed in somebody's condo down there. Rocky Point. It's right across the border, man.
First disclaimer. The border of Mexico is the worst of Mexico. That's the reason being though, it makes sense. Where are drugs gonna go through? The border. So that's why all the major cartels, they right there because that's where they send our drugs through. And of course it's all CIA stuff, and that's all CIA setting that up. But no, any like any of them border cities, because I actually drove down here with my son from Atlanta. So and quick story about that. We were driving from Atlanta to Playa del Carmen. I knew that there were several border crossings that I was not gonna go through because I know that if you go through Nuevo Laredo and them that's cartel central.
Oh my God!
So we crossed at a place called Eagles Pass, Texas, which opens up to Piedras Negras, I think it is. The GPS took us to Nuevo Laredo. Nuevo Laredo is the Wild Wild West when it comes to cartel and police too now. So my GPS started sending us that way. Cause I'm just in the GPS, the GPS you just put on. No lie. I look up, a police officer, a police is down like this. I guess about to shoot somebody, I don't know. He burnt on the car. He was like, no, hey. I stopped, I was like, what's going on? No. Cartel. I said, oh shit. So he got to grab my phone and put in the right coordinates. So yeah, in the board, yeah, man. He was like, you want to go up there? He was like, you might make it out there. And the thing is, they won't be targeting you, but you might just get caught in the shootout or something. You know what I'm saying? They ain't, they are cartel. The cartel trying to sell drugs.
Yeah.
And you can call the middle of war. So yeah, man. But okay, you said Rocky Point. Where else?
Yeah, it's like below California, so it's kind of east, probably west from you.
Okay, so if you in Baja's a little bit different because you got Tijuana, but Tijuana ain't no joke either. But Tijuana is still tourists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no.
You just below Texas? You just below Texas, or where you at?
No. I'm south. I'm like Georgia is to New York. If you're talking about.
Oh Mexico. Wow! Are you deep? You in deep?
Oh yeah. I'm 5 hours from Belize.
Wow.
In a car, yeah.
Holy cow! Man. Wow. Yeah, okay, so you in deep. Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. So is there a good? You said there's a good I mean, not that it matters, but there's a good like black community down there. Not that it matters, but
there's a huge black community here in Flight. So the top cities for black people in Mexico, I'll probably say Mexico City, Merida is dope. Fun fact: Merida is considered one of the top safest cities in all of the Americas. United States, Canada, number 2. Number 1 is Quebec City, and most people don't. Mexico, like yeah. But the reason being, And another fun fact, there's not one American city in the top 50. Imagine that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but the reason why Maryland is is in the top, is number 2 or whatever, number 2, is because that's where all the cartel families live. So
nobody doing nothing.
No. So that's a truth land. Like we ain't, and like don't nothing happen. Like you might hear about them. Somebody they shot one each other, bro. Like I'm fine with that. I know the rules here. Our biggest problem with the U.S. is that you don't know the rules because there are no rules. We all know people that have been shot and killed in the U.S. and they got robbed. They was whatever. Here the cartel ain't rob you and none of that stuff. Like the biggest thing here is that the police might ask for some pesos. The police might try and pull a fast on you, but they ain't put no gun out on you. They just go hey. You was speeding. Peso. Like, no, I was speeding. No, like, no. Hey, no. Good.
Oh,
but ain't worried about being shot by the cartel, being shot by the police, none of that stuff. So
yeah, you made me think of something, man, because I used to live in I lived in Somerville, Massachusetts for a while. And a lot of people might not know this, I don't know, but in any case, I ended up, going to pick up a pizza or something, whatever. And me and this guy just started talking, and because I didn't notice at the time, I had been living there for a long time, and I'm like, man, it's nice over here, man. We won't never have no problems over here. And he said, you ain't gonna have no problems over here. I said, why is that? He said, you know what this area is known for? I said, you know who's in this area? I said, no, I don't know. He said, oh, this is the Winter Hill Gang. I said, who's Winter Hill Gang? Oh, Whitey Bulger? He said, yeah. He said, nobody steals from Somerville. He said, you steal from Somerville, it's over.
Yeah.
So there you go. You gotta, sometimes the community can be safe for other reasons,
But to that point, I'm always telling people that, first of all, we know America likes to demonize everything black brown. So, let's talk about that. But the cartel is basically the Mexican mafia. So going to your point about the Somerville thing. The mafia has rules. They don't kill women and children, they don't kill innocent, they got rules. Like it's a professional criminal organization.
Right.
It ain't the Bloods and the Crips. The way the American media talks about it's Bloods and the Crips. It's regular drug dealers. No. The Bloods and the Crips, they get their head blown off down here trying to sell drugs down here. They ain't come down here. They ain't done none of that down here. No. It's very organized. So like even and going back to the story about Jesus. So I had Jesus at one of the beach clubs in Tulum because I know a lot of people down there. And he asked for he may or may not have asked for something, and I won't say that. And I said, whatever you need is here. It's here. You just can't see it. It's here. Whatever you need is here. And I pointed. I said, right there. I said, it's here.
Oh my goodness.
So what I mean by that is that it's all organized. So drugs and all, it's all organized. It ain't no. If this is my beach club, my cartel's beach club, can't nobody else come over there. They come over there, they get their head blown clean off. But also when they come and do it, they literally come and kill that person.
Right.
In the U.S. In the U.S., they would have tried to shoot everybody on the beach.
Whole beach done.
Yeah. They literally come shoot the person and get the hell on, like because 9 out of 10 the police knew they were coming. They're like, hey man. So, and the staff at that beach club or that business probably called them because they got them on their payroll too. But yeah, man, hey, like I tell everybody, I know the rules down here. So I'm like, as long as you don't try to start a cartel, stop the cartel. Buy from them. Don't buy no drugs from them because then you get intermingled. Then you good. Like
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do none of that stuff. I'm good. I'm straight.
Oh, that's cool. They got rules. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. That
it's the mafia, bro. It's a market, just like when that happened back in January, and everybody, of course, every time something happened, oh, you okay, Steve? I think Mark might say, but I don't know. I don't pay Mark any attention anyway because of his little fetish with sexy nasty. But but everybody always sends me a lot of messages. Like anytime, because the American media blows about reporting. Oh man, I heard that there was a shooting in Mexico. Now, first of all, Mexico has 32 states. Let's say that first. There's 32 states in Mexico.
Yeah, it's like everything's centralized. It's one place, man.
Yeah, people talk about Mexico like it's 2 blocks. and I'm like, where that happened, it's like me calling you because somebody got shot in California. Say, are you all right, bro? Yeah, you're in Atlanta. It's the same.
Just cross the country.
Like Mexico is a huge country, but the American media, because they thrive off of making America like it's the greatest thing on the planet, and everybody else is second-class citizens, especially Black and brown. They always got to, and the number one thing I saw with that was because who owns the media? Jews. That's the honor. The Jews started buying up property right after that little incident with when they killed that cartel leader.
Okay.
But what were they doing on that?
Pablo Escobar?
No. The one. This was back in January when they killed like a famous.
Recently. Oh, okay.
So, and then I saw a Jewish guy talking online about how they purposely will be overly dramatic about what happened in Mexico, because what they do is they come and try to depress the value a little bit, come in and buy everything, because they know people ain't gonna stop coming, because 2 or 3 Americans die in Mexico a year, and half of the time they were doing something stupid with the cartel, or now we're seeing people's friends killing them, when they come to Mexico, but it's not with the number of people, like millions of Americans visit here every year. Like I think last year, like 20 million or so came to Mexico, and nobody died. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like but the media blows out of proportion, makes you think that the whole they're fired. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not like that.
That's crazy. Well, I'm not surprised though, because y'all see what they did to the maps, right? They make Africa look like it's smaller than everybody, when the fact is it's bigger than all the other countries put together. It's crazy.
Literally, and that's but that's good old white supremacy, white supremacy make everything black and white look small and dangerous.
I can see that.
Meanwhile, they can say, oh, right down the street from Mark's house or wherever, 5 people got killed, and Mark's still going outside. But I'm supposed to stay in my house because one person got killed on a 6-hour flight from where I live in Mexico. I'm supposed to be in a house.
and you know what? And you know what? Hey, Felipe, you know what's else happened? Then they're gonna put out travel advisory.
Oh, yep.
You know that's coming, right? Don't. There's dangerous stuff going on. The cartels are fighting in Mexico. Come on.
It's the craziest thing.
If the U.S. applies, the State Department applies the same rules to American cities, nobody will leave their house. Nobody leave their house.
You know what? So this surprised me because there was somebody from abroad. I can't remember who, but they said that they did get travel advisories not to come to the U.S. if you black, because there was a particular time, y'all might remember, it was killing everybody. The police is killing everybody black, right? And they put out travel advisories in other countries. Don't come to the U.S. because the cops are dangerous.
So speaking of that, now even with the World Cup being there are a lot of countries that have travel advisory for their citizens because of ICE.
Right. Yep.
That's cool. But look at Felipe. We got about 3 minutes left on the show, man. I can't thank you enough for coming on and dropping them gems, man. I sure appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime I'm here, man. You say I'm not talking about, man. So
Since you living a life of luxury in Mexico.
Hey, man, living a life of peace, brother. This place has healed me, man, because I'm not dealing with racism, I'm not dealing with all this other stuff. Man, I always tell, I've been the first black to do a lot of stuff, and I always tell people, you don't want to be the first black to do nothing, because as much notoriety or you get in an industry as by being the first black person, that also puts a giant target on your back. You got to be ready for that. And I went through some, because they were like, where'd you come from? But the one thing they couldn't negate was my knowledge. Because anytime we get recognized, we know that we must be light years ahead of everybody else, and then you start getting around these people. We like, what? How, I've been looking at you for my whole career, and I get around and be like, you don't know nothing. Good old boy network is alive and well, boy.
Oh yeah. Hey man, Felipe, nice meeting you, man. I'm gonna get next time, my next trip to Mexico, man. I'm gonna call you for a travel. I need a travel guy, man, and
I got you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Waiting on you, man.
Felipe, it was nice meeting you. And don't be talking about light-skinned people. You talking about a target. you a target on me right now.
Listen, my whole family light skinned. I'm just dark. My whole family got green eyes, gray eyes, and everything else.
All I'm saying, Felipe, is watch your back.
Hey, say everybody too.
Is this being recorded?
hey, you can use that in court.
Hey, to everybody that tuned in, we definitely appreciate it. Thanks for checking in with us, Yolanda. Share any parting thoughts?
My parting thoughts is take care of your family when you are no longer here, meaning don't leave them with your debt. So take care of yourself, and Felipe, watch your back, buddy.
What you got for us, Mo?
Oh man, I just say, this was an enlightening discussion. Felipe, you opened my eyes to a lot of things. The propaganda machine is real. You know what it is, because you go back and forth. The propaganda machine is real. It talks about all this stuff, and you helped me realize that they lying, and I'll leave it like that, man. They lying.
I'm saying one last thing to pick back on that. What black people got to start doing is use the exact same lens that they're lying us about and apply to everybody else.
That makes sense.
They lie about the dangers of black men or black women, and they do the same. If you're black or brown, they always don't do that when they're the most murderous people ever to exist on the planet. Ever.
True. So for me, man, like I say, definitely appreciate it. If y'all want to learn about making moves in Mexico, investing in real estate in Mexico, reach out to Felipe. Like I said, smart brother. I've been knowing him for some years. Definitely reach out to him. Since Smoke Signals, like you say, Facebook, Instagram, what it is, making moves. What's the website?
Yeah, makingmovesinmexico.com. It is down right now, but it'll be up in probably 2 hours. My guy doing
Okay. Okay. But other than that, man, to everybody, great show. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace, love, and popcorn grease.
All right, y'all. Good show, man.
Peace out.